Let's go.
Fellow citizens of the Republic of Podcasts, welcome to
Episode 11
of God Worshipping Society. We hope this broadcast finds you well. Thus far, I have dedicated my opening sermons primarily to theory. Like all good revolutionaries must, however, I now offer some reflections on praxis. Our returning listeners will be well aware that the guiding motivation for this podcast has been the formation of a Holy Roman Union, a federal superstate sanctioned by the dialectical mandate that our less scientific peers prefer to call a federal Europe. How, you no doubt wonder, is this precisely to be achieved? Fear not, my disciples, for I, Aethelfether, chairman of the Roman Federalist Party, have devoted considerable energies to the formulation of a three-stage plan by means of which we can bring such a state of affairs into being. Firstly, let us consider some context, lest we end up rationalistically coming up with any kind of insane theory. Now, there are two kinds of people who live amongst us, humans like yourself, and demons. Now, the existence of demons is no medieval superstition, as I am here referring to those pitiable souls who have been possessed by the symbolic order of objective spirit, or as we like to refer to them around here, normies. I have discovered that, for this affliction, there is no cure. Our strategy must therefore incorporate the liquidation of the demons, who are all completely aware of my plans for the formation of a Holy Roman Union, and are undoubtedly ceaselessly seeking to prevent its fruition. Just as Constantine the Great's reign began in Britannia, so also will our project. First, the people of this island must rise up against the city of London, which is the headquarters of the demons in this region. Once this parasitical urban centre has been defeated, we can move towards establishing our first state, the Commonwealth of Wessex. Felix and I will assume dual roles as Lord Protectors of the Commonwealth, temporarily pausing democracy to ensure that the dictatorship of the non-demonic can achieve its initial necessary reforms. I have extensively studied Quesnay's Tableau d'économique and concluded that our best bet is to pivot towards an agrarian economy. We will toil the fields and produce a bountiful surplus to feed our citizen army. Every Sunday you will attend our Church of Science, after which you will practice shooting and various military drills as part of our training. This will apply to men and women alike, because we're going for an anime thing. Then we'll commence the second stage. Having consolidated our Commonwealth of the West Saxons, we will proceed with a military invasion of Normandy, beginning our war against the blandly named European Union. Once we have forced the people of France and the Lowlands into being free under our rule, we will establish our greater Western European co-prosperity sphere, and we will accumulate vast auxiliary forces from these people as a mark of their gratitude for having been liberated by us. Furthermore, our demonic liquidation plan will also continue in these regions, undoubtedly earning us further esteem in these people's eyes. As for the third part of our plan, a little diplomacy will be necessary. We will form a pact with the Russians, collaborating on the mutual invasion of Central Europe. We will meet them halfway, presumably in a desolated Berlin. We will fulfill our demonic liquidation plan in these areas, and then, finally, with the Germans and the Austrians gratefully on our side, we will found our Holy Roman Union. We will then invade the territories under the control of the Russians and their demonic collaborators, and countless scores of young men will finally be able to live out their dream of being a Panzergrenadier hurtling towards Moscow while completely wired on methamphetamines. Behold, a beautiful vision of the future, a world free from demons. Finally, we will achieve socialism with Roman characteristics. My friends, whether you are listening from Norway, Greece, Iceland, Portugal, we are all Romans now, but not Scotland. They were never part of that empire, and, though they are not demons, their humanity remains in doubt, and so they can only play a minor role in these affairs. Amen.
very good. That's an excellent plan. I look forward to instituting that at some point.
Yeah, I've got maps all over my house. You know, the dinner table's just covered in maps of Europe and Russia and stuff. I've got like little pieces I'm moving along.
Yeah.
I've got a little Kriegspiel. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's raining.
It's actually episode 11.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure I can edit that.
Maybe we can skip episode 11. Maybe that's some sort of unlucky thing, you know.
I like the number 11 though. I like it. It's nice that it's like 2 lines. It's very like it's a firm number.
I think in China they always skip out floor 4. They never name anything floor 4 because the word in Chinese for 4 sounds like death. So 4's unlucky. And so like
really?
Lifts go from 3 to 5 and stuff. They never name anything floor number 4. Yeah, so maybe we could do something like that. Maybe 11 could be like our unlucky number.
I feel like that could just cause so many administrative issues within construction.
No, I think that's useful. There's no more 11 centimeters anymore. It just goes 10 to 12. This is the kind of
you're just changing the numerical system at that point.
Yeah, but that's the kind of shit we need for our greater West European co-prosperity sphere. Some bizarre administrative thing we impinge on everyone else.
It's a USP. Let's call it that.
You
know, we are aware of unlucky numbers. You know, we're not pretending that these aren't a real phenomenon in this civilization. Unlike your pseudoscientific bullshit, you know, Reddit ass like I fucking love science. Like, oh, did you know? Actually, there's no such thing as bad luck. We did a peer-reviewed study, and it turns out there's no such thing as bad luck. So don't worry, you idiot. And you know, I resent that outlook.
Yeah, we know that's obviously completely false, given that your mother is still due to die in her sleep at some point for not subscribing to the podcast.
Exactly. You know, it's not a threat. It's science. You know, it's causation. It's you know, cause and effect. There's a sequence of events in reality, and you know, it's like I drop a glass, it shatters. You don't subscribe, your mother dies. You know, exactly. It's just the laws of nature. So I wonder if it's within the laws of nature that America must necessarily end up in conflict with Europe, because seems to be becoming increasingly inevitable this week.
Over fucking Greenland, of all places.
Now, what is there in Greenland? There's oil, presumably?
Yeah. Undoubtedly, if the Americans want it.
And there's somewhere you can put missiles, I guess. That's normally, like, those are really the only 2 things anyone would need land for, right?
Yeah. I think there's some mineral resources there, too.
What minerals, I wonder?
I don't know.
Does anyone really live there?
I think a couple of people do. A reasonable amount. I mean, not like anything major. I mean, the US... So apparently the US did try to buy Greenland just after the Second World War. Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold, which is equivalent to almost $2 billion today. And Denmark said no then.
You know what? $2 billion for that much land seems kind of cheap, to be honest.
Yeah. Which is
I think he was
understandably why
lowballing
they said no. Yeah, so there's oil
and
fields,
he obviously didn't want it that much.
There's lots of known mineral deposits. Don't know what minerals, it doesn't tell me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the big news from our perspective as Englishmen, obviously, is that Trump has announced he's threatening us with tariffs unless we support this attempt to purchase Greenland, which is his classic kind of tactic. So far, Sir Keir Starmer, like King Arthur, bravely standing up for his people, has not backed down unless that's changed. But I doubt it will, because he seems to have all the other European countries behind him on this.
It's a lot of minerals, actually, as it turns out. Enormous reserves of oil, natural gas, gold, diamonds, copper, lead, zinc, apparently. So, yeah.
It's a lot of shit.
Lots of shit.
We love
Maybe
copper.
We should have Greenland.
Well, our federation certainly will have Greenland, because the Danes, the Vikings, they had Greenland. They founded it. They named it. They're from Europe, so whoever gets there first, they have the right to have it.
Yeah, we better get on this quick then.
Which means also logically we need to get all the American people of Anglo-Saxon descent back here.
Do we have to? Must we?
This is ethnic nationalism.
This is the Israel for wasps.
Yeah, maybe that's how Britain is going to have its future. Maybe that's going to be the pivot. We got to buy into. There is this weird ideology. Actually, it's a type of English nationalism which holds that the English are. There are many variants of this. The English are one of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. Yeah, and they have a website actually you can find.
I think everyone likes to say they are, because there's the Black Israelites as well in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Also say that they are one of the lost tribes.
Well, they're the best ones out of all of them, because they have the outfits.
Yeah,
they dress up like I don't like space like a mixture of Bronze Age and alien clothes. They dress up in that, and then they stand on their soapboxes and
racially berate everyone. People.
Yeah, and just list off how every black historical figure who might not actually have been.
They say everyone was black, like Lincoln, Shakespeare, Henry VIII. That was my favourite one.
Yeah, Beethoven. That's a classic.
Is it Louis Theroux that's interviewing them, and he's like, Henry VIII, black. William Shakespeare, undoubtedly black. It's so funny.
Undoubtedly. Yeah.
Oh man, those videos.
I actually saw a thing about Lenin being black the other day.
Yeah. I mean, in all those photos, he's very black.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that. So we could pivot towards we could say. I mean, there are lots of alternative history based ideologies. It's not that much of a stretch to argue that Britain is actually the promised land of Israel. The people in Britain are actually the Israelites, and our diaspora all over the world. But I guess that makes the Welsh Palestinians in this context.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to go with that.
A lot of modern parallels. It's really lame that we're I think Britain is now talking again about cutting military funding. It's of all times, guys, can we not do this now? This country needs to get a fucking handle on welfare and spend some money on guns, please. Our military is embarrassing. Of all times in history, now we need to get a fucking shift on.
Exactly. Historically, Britain was able to survive with very small military.
We actually had a navy to contend with.
We had a massive navy, and we had allies who we could rely on for military purposes. Yeah. But we can't rely on America now. That's very obvious.
Yeah.
This is what's becoming abundantly clear now, is that our special relationship, which I think is one of the most pathetic terms in British political discourse, if not the most pathetic, is rapidly turning into some kind of toxic relationship.
We're being gaslit.
We're being gaslit. Our space is being invaded. Boundaries are being crossed.
America is constantly not replacing the toilet paper after she's done using it, the bitch.
And she doesn't want to go to couples therapy. Which I guess would be the UN or something.
Yeah. NATO is definitely our couples therapy.
NATO,
She's constantly saying, no, I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't have anything to confess to. It's all your fault.
Yeah, I don't need to rely on you. Look how massive my breasts are. Look at my breast.
Yeah, why don't you look after yourself like a real man? Why are you so broke? Why you're not contributing enough to this relationship? That's what America's saying.
Yeah. Which is kind of true, to be honest.
It is kind of true, but at the same time, you've made us financially dependent on you. This is that's where the gaslighting comes in.
They've turned us into a stay-at-home husband.
Yes, they've turned us
But
into
now
a
they
fucking
won't give us
soy
some
jack
Pocket
bug
Money.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's bought us a Nintendo Switch for our vasectomy.
So yeah, now it's time to cheat on her with Europe. You know, we had a bit of, because we were in like a throuple situation, and then Brexit, we broke up with the third party. But I think it's time to get back with them. I think we don't know what we're missing. Yeah, they were.
She's a bit messed up in the head, sort of multiple personality disorder, but she loves us really.
She's always splitting. Yeah. She's her system. Do you ever look at the people on like TikTok or whatever, like teenagers who are like claiming to have multiple personalities? Do you ever look into that?
No, I've never looked into
that. Right, it's the funniest shit. They're like so because it's not actually called, technically it's not called multiple personality disorder anymore. It's called dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, DID. And, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, DID. And the real, in reality, when someone actually has it, it's not like they've got 10 people in their head like arguing with each other.
Yeah.
They're
like, not going into alters. They don't become Dumbledore.
Yeah, it's more that their ego is fractured and isn't anchored around us. It's not a unified whole as it's. Yeah. But these kids, they're always like, they're always that kind of teenager who, watches too many, not even animes, but like, like Cartoon Network shows when they're too old for it. That kind of vibe.
Like Chowder. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously they're not as cool as us.
No.
But they call it their system. They call their kind of the cast their system, and they'll draw their alters. I think that's what they call them. Their alters.
Yeah,
they'll like draw them, and they'll come up with like character sheets, like it's Dungeons and Dragons or something. Where they'll have like all their kind of personality traits and stuff. And then but it doesn't ever seem like they're suffering from it. I think obviously if you met someone who actually had DID, they would probably be an absolute nervous wreck, the most miserable person, and they'd be terrified of the fact that they can't distinguish between themselves and
it's very trendy nowadays to have some kind of mental illness. You have to pick one. You've got to have something wrong with you. If you don't, you don't understand. You can't be a victim if there's nothing wrong with you. So you have to choose something. I don't know what I fancy, so I haven't come up with one yet, but I'm sure I will.
That's a good thing. What mental illness should we have?
We've got to have something. Yeah, cynophilia. Just
cynophilia. That's not really a mental illness. That's just being cultured.
True, but it's like an obsession. It's
so it's autistic.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I thought
so. You got ASD. Yeah. In case the audience couldn't tell.
in case none of the show's given it away. No, we're completely normal. As I sit here surrounded by Warhammer and small German men that I'm building and painting, and loads of paints and things. My desk is just covered in shit.
Oh man, my desk is covered in shit as well.
And I have
mine's
all
books about Hegel
built behind me.
Very nice. Well, you know what?
I have a few books on my desk. I have my Bolt Action 3rd edition rulebook. I have Das Boot and Plato's Dialogues.
Oh wow, that's
a real combination.
Have you been reading the dialogues?
I did a while ago, and then I lent it to a co-worker and got it back off her, and I didn't put it away, so it's just ended up on my desk. I do like the dialogues though. It is they are very good read.
They're cool. I like the Apology.
Yeah, the Apology. Yeah, absolutely. The Apology is the best.
That really is incredible.
And I like Aethelfether as well. That one's really a bit of a mindfuck.
Aethelfether is really good. Have you read? The most insane one is I think Fido.
Yeah, the last one
is.
Which one's that?
Yeah, he starts talking about. One. It's the one where he starts talking about how like they talk about how reality is ultimately composed of these like elements that are actually different. Like one's like a dodecahedron. That's like fire or whatever, and like I don't know, it's completely insane. The best bit, I can't remember which one it is. It might be Timaeus or
I got up to Meno. I didn't read Phaedo in the end. The one where he teaches the servant boy how to do like trigonometry.
To prove that we have
that you have innate knowledge. Yeah.
innate ideas. Yeah. But I like the one where I like whenever he starts talking about the afterlife, because it makes you realize that, like, when philosophy first appeared, it was basically a religion or like a cult.
Yeah, it was like kind of theology-esque.
Yeah, back then in Greece, you had lots of
theology.
cults. Yeah, well, I think this is the best way to think about it. Is it was a religion like other religions, or a cult, let's say, like other cults, but it had one distinguishing feature from all the other cults, namely that instead of being grounded on like an affirmation of something, it's grounded on a negative principle that we don't know.
Right.
Which makes it like, so it's kind of like a religion of a higher order in a sense. I think that's the best way to understand how philosophy appeared when it first emerged. And nowadays
so we don't
think
know
of
rather
it like,
than it is this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like that's the starting point. Rather than revelation, it's just pure negation. It's like no, we have no idea. I don't know anything. Which is pretty I think that's why it was such a groundbreaking thing.
It wasn't a cult of drinking and orgies though, so it wasn't as popular as it could have been.
No, but there were and there was a lot of pederasty involved as well. Unfortunately,
but it was ancient Greece. It was the 70s.
Yeah, it was the 500. It was the
570s. You know, it's a different time.
Yeah, and like everyone knew, and those boys, they were, they were groupies.
Yeah, they loved it. This is getting very Milo Yiannopoulos. I didn't know he's back, by the way. Did you know Milo Yiannopoulos is back on the scene?
I saw a clip of him with Martin Shkreli. You remember him?
Yeah.
And they were both complaining about Nick Fuentes, and it was just like, oh, it's like one generation of internet memes going after the next generation.
So I saw him on. Oh, who's the gay one who's really self-loathing? I'm sure we've spoken about him before. It's not Nick Fuentes, is it? He always looks really sad. Dave Rubin. I'm pretty sure I saw him. I think I saw him with Dave Rubin, or maybe one of those other nut jobs. And he was saying like, so Milo Yiannopoulos now says he isn't gay. He was never gay. He was infested with a gay demon. And he's gone full, the classic, like, right-wing turbo-Christian...
evangelical.
Conservative, And he's saying that, like, when I see a big black man, the demon would appear and make me want to suck his dick. He still sounds incredibly gay. It's obviously just bullshit. But he's trying to get away from the fact that he defended being raped as a child. Which is obviously what got him cancelled in the first place.
Yeah, it's all about marketing. Like, the only group of people who are going to tolerate him after that is this insane evangelical group, the Neon Genesis evangelicals of America. And so, he had to make that pivot because they'll take anyone. And
they're really bottom of the barrel right now.
I guess they just think of gay guys as pedophiles, so like, they're kind of and they think like, oh, it's a demon, so you don't have any responsibility, and now the demon's gone away because of magic. So
I think
it's
like
that form of Christianity works.
It's like you get like a black Nazi or something, and the whole shtick is like, it's not that bad. I'm black and a Nazi, therefore I'm more morally justified. They love people like. I think Milo got famous in the first place because he was super duper gay.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so could fight back in like 2015 with that same identity politics shtick. And now it's the same thing looping back around. It's like the only way to get on their side now is being a repressed, self-hating gay and affirming everything they believe, that being gay is a sin. Oh, look at me, I'm born again. I definitely don't love big black cock.
Yeah, and the racial fetishism is another bizarre aspect of his psyche.
Milo Yiannopoulos is definitely one of the weirdest blokes going on the internet. He's literally like a 4channer come to reality.
Yeah. Well, he is just created by the internet, It's not like there's probably no one really inside, other than his former boyfriend, now roommate, allegedly. It's so funny, they still live together, I think. They're still in the same house.
I mean, when he's not on air, he's still super gay, undoubtedly. Like, it's such bullshit.
Yeah. He's definitely on a shitload of coke as well these days.
Oh,
Like,
he spoke about that as well. He was like, I used to be, whenever I'd do coke, and I used to really like coke, the demon would come out. It's like, no, dude, you're just gay and you like coke. There's nothing wrong, you know. You don't need to be a shill.
You're just a gay guy who likes chemsex. There's millions of you out there. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, there are. I don't know. I wonder if he does like cruising and stuff, and if he'll slip up that way. Because I feel like he seems like the kind of guy who'd be into that. You know,
get caught and then someone posts a picture.
He's definitely one of those guys you'd see at night on Hampstead Heath. You know,
yeah, the classic.
The ultimate cruising spot. I remember there was a big, I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast before, but I used to live in North London, for the audience, and I remember reading in the news.
Is, for our non-UK listener.
Oh yeah, Hampstead is it's where all like the actors live and all the lovies and journalists, people like that. And it's also got this big like public area called Hampstead Heath, which is like a very beautiful area full of luscious grass and woods or whatever. Nice, and it's also a big cruising spot. George Michael used to live in Hampstead, and he used to spend a lot of time out there.
A few people are caught out there.
Now George Michael, that's a cool gay guy. I will say that. He really wore that shit on his sleeve. He'd just go out cruising, get photographed by paparazzis, and then just be like, yeah.
How did no one realise that George Michael was gay?
I know, it's crazy. Yeah. Where was I going anyway? Oh yeah. So there was this funny news story. Like I think it was last year of a bunch of Karens, let's say, would put up signs all over the Heath saying, please stop having gay sex publicly here. We are, we're families, like we take our kids around. And then a bunch of like LGBT campaigners showed up and started protesting against the signs. Oh my
god, really?
Yeah. So they got back at those fucking Karens.
Yeah. Another good old protest.
Yeah, I mean this is English culture. Come on, we've always
nation
been
of protesters.
Like well, we're a nation of doggers, I think.
on this country has two wolves, doggers and protesters.
Yeah, it's like I mean those are the two. That's the real class war at the heart of British history.
Foundation of British culture.
The middle class suffragette type lady, the Karen, and the cultured upper class gay gentleman,
the cavalry boy who
he likes to be outdoors, with the lads,
no clothes on.
I mean, there's a famous story about Churchill that a couple of guards, when he was like prime minister, I think, a couple of guards got caught one winter night outside in some park or something, getting it on. And Churchill was told about it the next morning, and he said, "Last night?" And they said, "Yes, sir." And he went, "In that weather?" And they were like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, "Makes you proud to be English, doesn't it?"
That's a very good quote.
Yeah, so shout outs to the gay community of Hampstead.
Yeah,
shout outs to Winston Churchill. Shout outs to Milo Yiannopoulos.
Shout out to Milo Yiannopoulos. Good luck, buddy, because you're really selling out now. It in.
Yeah, he does look awful physically. He looks look awful. Well. He's gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's a turbo grifter now, even more so than he was back in 2015. At least he looked like he was having fun in 2015.
Yeah, it didn't seem all so dark. I feel like I've been watching with my girlfriend. We've been watching a show that came out in like 2018, 2019. Called Insatiable, and it's just like a Netflix show from the time. Essentially, it's about the plot is it's about a young woman who's trying to be a pageant queen in the South, and she's just lost loads of weight and had this kind of glow up, and then there's all that like the guy who's like managing her pageant career is like he discovers that he's poly. and like
Wow.
you know, it's so like 2010s, and there's all these moments where like someone in a wheel, some like random character, some side character you only see once will appear in a wheelchair, and they'll like give someone really inspirational advice, and then just kind of vanish, and you never see them again. Away. Yeah, because it's like the cynical thing of like, oh, we'll just kind of insert them in there, but we don't really want them to be a main character or anything. You know?
Yeah, no. Well, it's like the Daleks. But what... you know? It'd just be inconvenient.
Yeah, but what struck me is just, it's like, there was all that shit going on at the time, you know, there was all that political correctness stuff. Yeah. It was very annoying and everything. But it didn't feel, pop culture, mainstream culture, didn't feel as dark as it feels now. It was like, it was like, there,
I think it's because it was fairly new and it seemed like a bit ridiculous almost. It seemed farcical. Whereas it just doesn't seem as funny anymore.
It was a continuation of the Obama era. And even though Trump was president by that point, it was his first presidency. And even his whole image didn't seem as dark as it seems now. You know?
Yeah.
He didn't seem that right-wing culturally or anything. He was just like an old-fashioned American populist. And in fact, he was almost like a breath of fresh air for the Republican Party. Because he wasn't like, you know, a neocon. He came in and was basically like socially quite liberal and just pro tariffs. That was all it was. He ran on this, his entire thing was anti-immigration for sure. It was, we'll build a wall and we'll put tariffs up with China. That was all he was saying. And it was very
like anti-Hillary reactionary as well. I feel a lot of the vote was because the other vote was Hillary Clinton.
It was this, because the Democrats had embodied this very patronizing kind of attitude. And that is a really dumb fucking thing to do campaigning. And it was just like, you know, Hillary Clinton, you know, her husband was president 20 years ago. He's slimy.
Yeah.
There's something, and then Benghazi, and I don't really know, but like, it was just, she was just such a terrible candidate in every way, obviously.
Yeah. The hot sauce, though.
But like,
she always carries hot sauce with her.
yeah.
So, you know.
But it's weird. It's just like now, like back then, Trump was like a good old-fashioned American populist. It was like tariffs, wall, you know, we'll get wages up. It's like pretty good formula to win an election.
Let's fix the economy, make America great again.
Yeah, let's get all those jobs back in the Rust Belt.
And it's something new that people know. You know?
Yeah, and he didn't give a shit. But I remember him, for example, giving a speech.
Swamp.
Yeah, either 2015, 2016, before he became president, I think. He gave a speech at, I think it was at CPAC. It was at like the conservative conference. And this was after the Orlando nightclub shooting where a gay club got shot up. And I can't remember what exactly he said, but he said something that was like, you know, sympathetic towards LGBT people. I'm sure there was an anti-immigration aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
But in any case, he said that. And the audience cheered. And then he said, and you know what, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, to hear that applause for LGBT people at a conservative conference is that really means something. Or something like, he said something like that. And it was like, oh, so he's like socially not that conservative. He's not like trying to teach, he's not like a Republican who's trying to teach creationism in schools per se.
Or like
all
a
that
gay
kind of shit.
Conversion nut job.
Exactly. But now that's completely changed. And I think what it was it wasn't Trump deliberately, but like the first time he ran, the QAnon thing started to happen, which was very much a reaction against Hillary Clinton more than anything else. But it obviously developed, at that time, it was like this minor part of his following. And most people were just there for the tariffs and the wall. But it started to grow, and then it got kind of mixed with the kind of evangelical wing of the Republican Party. This was like in the years where he wasn't president, in between his two terms, and then it crystallized into this kind of ideology / cult of personality that is now, you know, definitely emboldened him a lot.
It's the cult of personality, the main thing. I was just trying to wonder whether that was like a misinterpretation of what got him elected in the first place, which wasn't the breath of fresh air, anti-Democrat, while still being fairly, conservative but not too crazy, focus on the economy. And instead, he just was like, people just love me.
Yeah.
They don't care what I do as long as it's me doing it.
And that is true of a lot of people.
Basically. People are...
His followers, he could do anything, He could be a paedophile who was actively involved in the trafficking of underage girls with Jeffrey Epstein.
Impossible, perhaps.
And possibly the murder of people, allegedly.
Allegedly.
He could be that, and his followers would find a way to either disregard it or even justify it. In fact, I can't remember who it was. Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene or something? I don't know the names of these people, but one of the high-ranking Republicans said after the Epstein thing came out, she said, look, this isn't... She literally did the internet, it's not pedophilia, it's hebophilia or whatever. She literally did that thing. She was like, oh, they're not... these aren't children, they're 16-year-olds or whatever.
Which, which is still very wrong. I mean, look, I had an argument about this the other day because I was saying about how it isn't paedophilia, it's hebophilia. But it's still wrong. I just wanted to be specific. It's still got me accused of being called a paedophile. It's the old joke again, isn't it? It's the, if you know the difference, it makes you sound like a paedophile.
The distinction is, I'm sure, useful for forensic psychologists.
Yeah.
Or, people like that. But, it doesn't really matter what their age is anyway. You shouldn't traffic humans.
Yeah, and also, that they're too young, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whether it's a baby or a 17-year-old, it's weird.
Yeah, it's and it's not presidential, let's say that.
No, it's certainly not presidential.
But
I think it's the same for
funny,
the opposite as well. Like the Trump derangement syndrome thing. It doesn't matter what he does; it's him doing it. There's always going to be something to complain about. Like even if he saved the world, people would still hate him as well.
That's what my friend who lives in South America was saying. Yeah, my friend in South America was saying he doesn't like Trump at all, but he was saying look, the Venezuela thing, he didn't actually do a bad thing per se, Maduro is a very sinister guy,
motherfucker.
But I think a lot of Americans on the left don't. I get that their point is more that it was I guess illegal the way that he did it. Well, fair enough. Okay, if he didn't follow the constitutional procedure to stage a military intervention, fair enough. Okay, that's a good criticism. But let's not pretend that
I don't
Maduro
see that criticism very often.
No, let's not pretend that Maduro is actually a socialist, a progressive force in the world.
That's making Venezuela a better country.
Yeah, people in Venezuela have unimaginably horrible lives under that regime.
Yeah. Did you see the opposition woman gave her peace prize to Donald Trump?
No, I didn't see that.
She actually gave her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump for doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. The actual
she
one,
shouldn't
she
encourage
him
him, though.
Gave it to him. Maybe not, but she did.
Yeah. Well, he finally got the thing he wanted.
That could just be because she's the opposition leader. He's just ousted the leader and now it's claimed de facto rulership of Venezuela. And so, hey, maybe if you take this peace prize, maybe I could be the leader of Venezuela.
It's definitely a little payment, an exchange.
Little gift.
Talking of peace prizes, actually, gift. To return to the 2010s, I think the thing that says it all about what people were reacting against was Obama getting the peace prize.
Yeah. I remember there was a lot of hate about that as well.
Yeah, because he just did Syria. He was droning. People, droning hospitals and shit. Bad shit. So, and they had this whole happy clappy kind of vibe to the presidency to him and everything. And it was and what it really was is you had Obama when Obama ran. Do you remember all the posters said change?
Yeah, that was that very famous picture.
He's a classic example of using identity politics to avoid having to actually affect any change, and making change purely a superficial thing. And I think that built up a huge amount of resentment. But the resentment got misplaced because it got directed towards progressives in general. So it was like, oh, we don't want change because we've had your change and it sucks. And it's like, actually, he hasn't really changed anything. He bailed out the banks.
Yeah.
This isn't. The thing you're angry about isn't progressive politics, because there hasn't really been any. There's been like gay marriage. That was it.
Yeah.
That's not. It's the same. I mean, we had David Cameron at the same time doing the exact same fucking thing. It was, David Cameron got asked when he left office, like, what are you most proud of? And he was like, gay marriage. And it's like, you're obviously not proud of that. You don't give a shit. You were anti-gay marriage a few years ago. You've never been. This is all cynical. And that is a coping mechanism. That you're just saying that because you didn't do anything good when you were prime minister. You fucked it up. You got an economy that was already screwed, and then you pursued every possible policy you could have done to keep wages down. Essentially,
screw it even harder.
Yeah, but now gay people get married. Great. Now the rich gay people who can afford to have a wedding
to get married.
yeah. But I think, it got misplaced. People thought, if that's progressivism, then I must be a conservative. And it's like,
I've seen what they have to offer and I don't like it, so I must be the opposite. And then the like culture wars start, and everyone's being called a Nazi, and that is annoying. Yeah, I think that was the biggest change. The second people started chucking the word fascist around so liberally, like, if you remotely disagree, you're gonna alienate everyone.
I think the thing that really says it all is this idea that a homeless white guy has more privilege than someone who isn't white, who's like a
rich
CEO
black person or something.
Yeah, which everyone of all races knows is bullshit. Like, we all know that's a disgusting way to think about people. Yeah, like,
but it's just racist. It doesn't matter who you are. You can't. And it was part of that whole thing of like, black people can't be racists. This whole thing that just alienated everyone. Even like, even if you're on that side, surely you take a step back and think, what the fuck are people? This has gone too far.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you had like the Bernie Bros in 2016 or whatever, which was really the moment that podcasts blew up. Yeah. But they were all like, they were on that side, and they were sick of this Obama-style neoliberal politics or whatever. But what I think is interesting in hindsight? Yeah. And I wasn't aware of this at the time, but it's so clear now. This is how it's led us to where we are now, is that what the culture war was, it was very dialectical. Right. Because essentially it was two political ideologies straw-manning each other into existence. Yeah. Because this is how it works with the internet. You call the other side Nazis, for example. You keep calling them that. Eventually they're going to say, you know what? Yeah, I am a Nazi. Because my goal now is just to piss you off. Yeah. Because I hate you. It's not about real beliefs. And people don't realize they're thinking like this consciously. But this is what it is.
And there's no debate coming out. So it's basically just call each other names. Yeah.
So it's like, so you're a Nazi, you're a commie, blah, blah, blah. And eventually they both start saying that they are the things that, they are the other side's bogeyman.
Fine, I am a commie. What are you going to do about it?
So it's this spiraling effect. And I think that's like really how it's panned out, and that's why American politics, that's why like the Republicans now are so bizarre, is because that's exactly what happened. They have become a leftist's nightmare from 20 years ago, like a bogeyman of what people Democrat leaning people would have thought a right winger was 20 years ago. They're just straw manning the other side into existence. And it's happened so rapidly because of the internet.
American politics is so based around people. It's like celebrity politics. You know, you're not voting for the party like you are here. You're voting for a guy, and everyone hates Trump so much, and you think, fuck it, if he's pissing people off, I'll just vote for him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's that you get resentment.
It was funny. In 2016, I wanted Donald Trump to win because it was so funny how angry
it
people
was
were getting.
hilarious.
It was so funny, and as a professional shit posting troll, I just like winding people up. It was so fucking funny to go into school that morning and see like people actually crying. 16-year-olds in the UK. A guy was crying over it, and I was fucking yucking it up. I was so.
Well, he was crying.
Yeah, because he was like, I can't believe it. You know how many they're going to start killing gay people on the streets and all this nonsense. I was like, dude, you got to calm down.
Yeah, but then now it's like they might actually start doing that.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It feels so different.
Now they actually are doing that. Is the difference.
Yeah, now they actually have a paramilitary wing. Like it's just
dumping mags into lesbians, driving cars very slowly away from them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everything just feels so much more dark now. You know, it's like. It kind of feels like the 70s again, in a sense. I don't mean... British people love to say that because they're talking about, you know, like, the economy being shit and wage stagnation or whatever. I'm not even talking about that. But, you know, like, a lot of 70s films are very dark. They're very cynical. They're, like, they're very... Yeah, like there's a really deep cynicism. Like, what are the greatest films from the 70s? Like, you know, Chinatown, Taxi Driver, shit like that. It's all very... The anti-heroes... the anti-hero is like, that's what Trump is. You know,
absolutely.
That's the essence. He's like Tony Soprano as president, basically. People like that. That makes someone more appealing to them. It's like people are voting for a Greek tragedy to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just want to see something happen, I think. And the best way to have something happen is to vote for the most fucking insane person you can.
Well, I think the anti-hero resonates with people as well. You got so many people who are like unemployed,
downtrodden, the underdog. Everyone views himself as an underdog, right?
Exactly. I mean, you look at like every fucking Sigma male edit on YouTube Shorts, and it's all about some kind of underdog making the other guy get his comeuppance. You know, like owning a guy who's like been dominating him for his whole life,
putting Hillary in jail.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this anti-hero thing. I forgot where I was going, but you know, I'm just making a good point. It would have been a really good point. It
would have been safe. So viewers, just imagine a continuation of that. That would have been really funny and excellent. And you've pretty much
well, everything I say is it's pure logic. So you can figure out what I would have said next because there's a necessity to everything I say.
The podcast is deterministic by basis of our pure reason.
Yes, yeah, I am pure reason.
I am pure reason. We've got a bit of time left. What happened with you had an interview, right?
I did have an interview, yeah. Aethelfether might not be unemployed for much longer. It went very well, yeah. I'm happy with it. I don't want to give out too many details because I don't want to give anyone too many hints that might make me doxable.
No,
and I think, given the nature of this podcast, it's essential that I maintain some kind of distinction between. But yeah, it went well. It's been a crazy week. I've been very stressed. But I found a good coping mechanism, which is watching Indian gurus talk about yoga.
Indian gurus talk about yoga.
Yeah, and when I say yoga, I don't mean the exercises, because that's actually not yoga. That's a small part of proper yoga. In India...
the chi pathways and all this shit.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Most of yoga in India is actually about meditation. The body exercises and stuff, that's called hatha yoga, and that's just one part of it. There's all kinds of other shit. I think like the what's the sex position book?
Kama Sutra.
The Kama Sutra. I think that might be a yogic text, but I'm not sure.
Probably,
I'm not an expert on this stuff. It's really complicated.
Well, there's loads of sutras, aren't there? They're like loads of holy texts or manuals. It's got a Chinese aspect to it. I mean, obviously.
There's definitely a lot of similarities there. But yeah, it's been great. It does help. I find
on how to bang.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
1,000 way hidden water sex technique. Meditate for hundreds of hours.
It's a very good way to calm down. For one thing, these gurus are really good at talking softly. So there's a nice ASMR, and the accent is like perfect accent for ASMR. It's like it's very soft, you know. It's not like English accent. It's quite harsh, you know. We pronounce our consonants with a lot of plosive force or whatever.
It's quite flowing, isn't it? It's quite sort of sonorous.
Melodic, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it almost sounds like Latin sometimes to me, like the way they pronounce the V's and stuff.
No wonder you like it. The W's into the V's and things.
But I've learned so much. I know how to levitate. I know how to turn invisible.
Wow.
Like
I wonder why I couldn't see you on cam this whole time.
Yeah, that's why I look so shit today, is because I knew you wouldn't be able to see me anyway. That's why I'm in my pajamas and I haven't shaved. And I've got bags under my eyes.
All of this.
And my hair's filthy.
It reminds me of that one yogi that talks about like life force. I assume you've come across this guy.
Is it Sadhguru?
Yes, probably. Yeah, I think love
Sadhguru. You know, there are people who think he murdered his wife.
Really?
Yeah, no, the guy's really dodgy. There's something really odd about him. I love how they just say completely insane shit with complete confidence. And the other thing they do is they always go on about how consistent their beliefs are with science. They're always like, they always say like Western religions, you know, they've been contradicted by science, but the ancient Vedic texts are actually they've proved that everything they say has been proven by science. You know, I mean, the yogis, they knew that the Earth revolved around the sun. They knew that there are millions and millions of galaxies or whatever. Yeah, they just say this stuff. Or they'll like be like, yeah, no, I meditated inside whilst getting a brain scan, and what they showed is that, you know, my IQ had increased by 1,000 points whilst I was meditating. And they just say shit.
Yeah, they just say nonsense. Yeah, the
it's
one
great.
I saw that was
with
about
so much confidence.
The one I saw was about like how many life units each thing has. So like a rock has one life unit, even though it's not alive. But then like a man has 8 life units, but a superman, like an Ubermensch, has 9. And then there's like another level of like life-changing people, and the guy uses Hitler as an example because the Indians love Hitler. And he's even higher. And then, you know, you keep going, and then you have the like demigods and gods, and it just gets completely insane. And he's just
it's like a chain of being.
Yeah,
that's what we used to have in like medieval theology. It was like this chain of being that goes from like dirt to God.
Exactly.
Like all around, and you got all the angels. You got like different classes of angels. I do like it. I have to say,
it's taking
got that
a
nice,
sort of
like,
Leibnizian touch to it by just assigning pointless numbers to things and trying to calculate the equivalency of life. Just complete insanity.
I do like. I love philosophy when it makes life feel like an RPG, you know. When it's like, you can like level up, you know, like you can become a sage.
You can become a demigod with enough. I don't know. Paying this guy money, presumably.
And here are the rules. I love like that's why I'm interested in the yoga stuff, because it's like, you know, there are rules. There's like, oh, this is a game. Like there's rules to this shit. If you follow the rules, you can basically become a god. You know, it's like a lot of like traditional Chinese religion is like that as well. Like Taoism, a lot of the Taoist alchemy is all about like becoming immortal and
it's
learning to fly
through like kung fu.
It's sick.
Meditation
that is really cool.
Chi pathways, and you got to channel your meridians to unlock your full potential. And you basically just become a god. You break through your inner core. I used to be really into that shit. I used to play loads of kung fu games and stuff. I used to play one where you had to build like your own sect. So you had your outer disciples who'd like grow food and stuff, and then your inner disciples, your cultivators. And they, you know, you had to get them meditating in like rooms with appropriate feng shui, and you had to build your whole base according to like this feng shui stuff. So if your bedrooms didn't face west, they could become inhabited by demons. And like I had one really powerful cultivator. I built the room facing the wrong way, and he had a heart attack one night and died. Because the demon, the room's feng shui was like ominous. It had ominous karma. It wasn't auspicious.
I remember you telling me about that.
Oh, that game was
one of the types
weird.
One of the types of karma was auspicious, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went from highly auspicious to highly ominous, and you could
cool.
You could end up with demons taking over your people and just killing them.
Yeah.
Fucking weird
I feel like
game.
We are missing that systematic feature in contemporary philosophy in the West.
There's no way to level up and achieve godhood.
No, because they all want to
aspire to.
Especially in the Anglo-Saxon world where we have analytic philosophy, the attitude is, we got to look like scientists, like natural scientists. What do? They specialize and focus on minutiae. So let's do that with philosophy, and then we'll make progress. It's like, this isn't natural science. Like, it's not what philosophy is. You have to be systematic. That's the entire point. You're not talking about aspects of nature, particular parts of nature, which is what a natural scientist does. You're talking about nature as a whole. It's a completely different thing. You know?
Yeah, it's like nature in itself.
Yeah, and to go back to the point I made at the start about positivity and negativity in terms of thought, that's, you can't, when you're looking at individual parts in nature, you can be positive about it. You can say what they are. When you're talking about nature as a whole, you can't, because it's beyond, it's more complex essentially than the human mind. You can't say what it is. So but I hate when people are like, no, there's no purpose to things, because when you look at nature, when you if I do biology or physics, actually biology, there is an element of purposivity in it, really, because like that's what an organism is, I guess. You have to understand it in terms of a common purpose shared amongst the organs. But like in physics, there's really nothing like that at all. But people say like, so there is no purpose to it all. It's like, well, if you think about things in terms of like, you've already assumed in your method that there's no purposivity, because that's how we do physics. Is we don't look at things in terms of purposes or whatever. You're looking at a different level of abstraction. And you can't.
A purpose in what sense? Like, it's been like. What do you mean by that? Sorry.
I mean, like, with reality itself having... So, put it this way. When we talk about something having a purpose, like this glass that I'm drinking out of, right? Yeah. I've assigned it that purpose as a subjective entity. Yeah, to drink out of. Yeah. That's its purpose. Or the table, same thing. But, like, if I was to describe what this glass is as a physicist, you wouldn't find that in it, in that description. Yeah. That account wouldn't factor that in. So the issue is purposivity just a subjective, epiphenomenal thing that we project onto reality? Or is it actually an aspect of reality itself? Or is there purposivity within reality itself?
Right.
That isn't just subjective. Now, I would say there's no objective purposivity. I would agree with the the natural scientists on that. Which is why I say, if you're going to give a purely physical account of the object, you won't find any purpose there. Yeah. But why are we assuming that there's only objectivity and subjectivity? I think about it like this, in terms of experiments, which is what all science, all modern natural science, the reason we've been able to get so far with it is because of experiments. That's like what it is. Now, a lot of people like to think that experiments are objective, because it's purely to do with the object. But really, I think it's better to think about experiments as a dialectic between a subject and an object. And I think that this dialectical process of experimentation, has itself a guiding spirit, so to speak. Right. Which is a purpose, which is to uncover, for us, the subject, to uncover the thing in itself that Kant talked about, which we never will. But I would go further and say that what the thing in itself is precisely that dialectic. So there are spirits, essentially, but it's not. But the spirit isn't some kind of mystical being. It's a guiding dialectical principle, which is we're trying to get closer and closer to what the true essence of the object is. When we do an experiment, we try and abstract away our own subjectivity. Yeah. We try to make it as objective as possible. And you'll never get that complete objectivity of the thing in itself. You'll never get to that point of the noumenon. But that doesn't matter. The point is that idea, that notion of a thing in itself, is guiding you. It's what's guiding our never-ending process of scientific experimentation and gradually abstracting away our own subjectivity from it.
Right.
So that would be my view on it. So the thing in itself is the spirit guiding that, so to speak. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
I'm not sure I have much to add to that, but that was interesting.
So I'm not mystical.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
No.
Well, this is like Joe Rogan, but we actually have degrees. So.
Yeah, this is Joe Rogan, but we're not complete fucking morons.
Yeah, we both have degrees.
That's crazy. Have you ever done DMT?
To be fair, though, there are a lot of people you meet at university who are like, doing post-grad degrees or whatever, who are exactly like that. Who are just like, doing psychedelics all the time and shit. And it's like...
Yeah, absolutely. Some real monsters. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Any final words for episode 11, possibly episode 12?
Well, I'd like to send a message to Mr. Trump. I feel like I'm in a position to speak.
Yeah, I think we're
to address him directly
as our duology.
Yeah, Mr. Trump, we are both great men. And I actually really respect you for this Greenland thing. In fact, I say go ahead, fucking invade, and let your buddy Putin invade Europe on the other side as well. You will create, unintentionally, the most powerful civilization in history as a dialectical response to that. When the Japanese ambassadors visited China after the foundation of the People's Republic of China, Mao Zedong shook their hands and said, "You guys really helped us." I'm Mao Zedong in this scenario.
Yeah.
Trump, Putin, they're the Japanese.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep scaring our Holy Roman Union into existence, please. And that's all I have to say. Yeah.
Excellent. I concur with these words.
All right then. Well, thank you very much for listening, guys.
Yes, thank
you. To episode 11. Are you sure it's 11?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. I'm going to edit that in. Don't worry.
Make it really obvious. Do like a really obvious overdub. Welcome to episode 11 of the
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a stressful week. Anyway, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again next week. Please give us a like, a subscribe, anything to stop your mother from dying in her sleep tonight.
Drop a comment. Let us know what we could. If you wanted to talk about anything, if you have any questions, for sort of agony aunts section, please
absolutely.
Send them in. I'm not sure how you're going to do that.
Comment.
Email
just
address.
comment.
Just comment. Comment your personal questions. If you have any kind of venereal disease and you want us to laugh at you, just comment that, including your full name and address.
Well, you are welcome to send me an email at aethelfether@gmail.com. Good luck figuring out how to spell that.
If you can figure it out, we will definitely read out your email.
I'm so bad at marketing. It's aethelfether@gmail.com.
And we won't repeat that, so rewind.
Yes, rewind!
Rewind!
Right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a blessed week. Dialectic bless you, and amen.
Amen.